All right. So it's January 1st. We made it to 2025. New tradition that we started. I got all the boys to record their recap of 2024, their likes, their dislikes, things they want to remember, things they may want to forget, good or bad, happy, sad, all that. And also their goals and things that if it was something like from 2024 that they like to carry into 2025. So we recorded that. Resolutions, whatever you want to call it, but just how you like 2025 to turn out, whether it be some similar things from 2024 or some newer things. You know, each year they get a little older, a different age. So like with the older boys, they can get jobs, drive, and stuff like that. So that's what I'll be doing here for myself. So 2024, man, was a roller coaster year. Started out kind of regular and mundane. Of course, you know, I already did a video on how it ended professionally. Ended without a job after, for the first time in a long time, I had a job going towards the end of the year, 2023 going into 2024. But back to regular schedule programming, 2024 going into 2025. I was let go the week after Thanksgiving on that Wednesday. So of course, naturally, goal 2025 is, well, like I say that, you know, we moved into the new place. That was a good thing. Got our space back. You know, missing some pieces, good and bad. You know, we'll take it how we can get it. We focus on the good, not worry about the bad so much. Lost jobs. I mean, third row seat little Honda Pilot that we ended up getting at the end of 2024. So again, good and bad. Not a fan of car payments, but you know, that Audi that I had just kept going down, and I mean, I can't keep doing this. And I'm glad that I did get the Honda, but you know, when I did, because like I said, I got the Honda maybe 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, and then a week after Thanksgiving. So 3 weeks after I got it, you don't have a job. So you know, being able to live and get around and make some extra money is nice, and it'll help me during the time between now and having another job. 2024 also gave me my first entrepreneurial idea, endeavor, however you want to label it or call it. So we're working on a bookkeeping business, and you know, to get that up and really growing and going. I'm not sure if the county commission office, I think that's where I got to go to file my paperwork, get stuff incorporated, but whoever I got to go to, wherever I got to do it, tomorrow we will be filing paperwork. Or the next day they open. Tomorrow's Thursday, so Thursday, Friday, Monday at the latest. No holidays on next Monday. So Monday at the latest, I will have the paperwork filed to start my own business, man. And that is exciting. So, you know, I've been talking about it for a while, but documenting it here is important because for me, again, in 364 days at the end of the year, I'll be looking back at this and saying, you know, or double checking to see if I achieved the goal. So my goal at minimum, of course, the first goal is to get a job because, you know, we need money to pay bills now. So hopefully, you know, get a job paying better than what I was making with my previous job or whatever as a compliance analyst with LPL Financial. So of course, we can get a pay bump and transition into the fraud space. That would be ideal. That would be perfect, especially one that allows the flexibility for me to complete my work. You know, it's not like a call center or a volume type thing, so I can do that. And if I can dabble and study, you know, or do some work on my business, then that would be nice. If not, then I do it after hours and on the weekends. Either way, I will have the QuickBooks training and certification and all that done within 30 days, 30 more days, which would be January 31st. So before this month is over, I will have, like I say, my paperwork and name and all that filed within the next 6 days at the latest, or yeah, by next week. We'll say next Wednesday, next Tuesday, next Wednesday. I'll have that done by then. So that'll be done, and then I just got to keep putting in the time to study. I studied a little bit just now. I'm about to run out, make some money and stuff like that. So just keep studying, stay consistent. Consistently read more, bike at least, I'll say 4 days a week. If I hop on the bike every other day, 4 days a week, that'll be solid. Of course, as it warms up and on good days, if I could just get past the mental barrier of the cold, get out, do at least, we'll say 2 or 3 walks a week. go rucking. So, you know, if on at least, like I said, you know, some of the days where I go biking, I like to do both because that's just doubling down or whatever. And the goal is to get to the gym between 2 and 3 days a week. I'm not going to be, you know, ridiculous. Oh, I'm going 5. No. If I'm doing all the biking, the rucking, do some at-home workouts, if I can just get there 2 days and really push and, you know, overload, progressive overload and lifting heavier weights, that'll be nice. So I'll take that. You know, water intake, increase that. Eat a little bit better. So the health is, health is wealth. You know what I mean? So that's going to be incorporated. I think I'm like 210 as of today. The goal was to get down to 200. I didn't get there before the year was over. But staying consistent with the things I'm saying, I don't see why I shouldn't be under 200 pounds. I'll be nice and say by March. I'm going to lock in and do what I can to, you know, get there by February. But if I get there by March, that's still healthy weight loss. I'll take that. So this year, yeah, we're going to get under 200 pounds. I want to hit 315 one more time, man. And like I tell everybody, I want to be able to, I'm going to dunk before this year is over. Barring any injuries or anything going wrong, I'm going to build my body and the ability back up to be able to just be able to record, just like I'm recording this, be able to record one more so I can say I did it and I can show I did it. It ain't got to be nothing crazy. It could be a rim grazer. I don't care if it's a back scratcher, windmill, behind the back, 360, whatever. I'm going to put a ball over a 10-foot rim. So, you know, that's a thing or whatever. And I was saying with the business, you know, with finishing up the training within this month and really grinding, I know a big part of it is going to be cold calling and just reaching out to young business owners, not young, but newer business owners, and just people in my network, you know, network and building up my LinkedIn and really putting myself out there. I'm not scared of rejection. I got a really good start with this business because I started watching a guy that has a YouTube channel. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but like he even showed himself, like, I think he probably called like 30, 40 businesses in one day and he got 0 yeses. Like, maybe we'll take your information. I'll let the boss know and pass it along. But knowing that that's, you know, going to be a part of my journey, I'm prepared for that. Not just, you know, oh, I can get to, you know, 200, 300,000, you know, in a few years. Well, that first year, you know, I'm optimistic and hopeful and, you know, confident in myself, fighting imposter syndrome. I believe that a good goal would be to have between 5 and 10. I just said that to my brother. If I, you know, obtain 5 to 10 clients, I would love for them to be recurring, you know, locked in clients that's paying monthly. But even if I just, you know, okay, well, I'll try this service. That one interaction, you know, if it doesn't work out, they don't become a long-term client, then I still, you know, especially if I can get feedback from them, is there anything that I could do better? You know, was it something that I could change that, you know, could get you to come back in the future? Or, you know, could change you. If someone else asked you about my service, what would you say I could improve that would make you recommend me to that person? You know, things like that. So like I say, I'm really excited even for those conversations. Like, you did all right. Or, you know, I'm not going to be, I aim to be perfect in a lot of ways, but I'm realistic and I'm accepting. I'm human, you know, so I may make some mistakes. I'm going to do everything I can to try not to make any. But, you know, like I say, by the time we get to, you know, this time next year to have on file that I had 5 to 10 clients, different clients that I encountered throughout 2025 would be success for me in that regard. So, you know, just getting that, paying off debt, saving. I don't know what my savings goal is going to be. Hard to kind of set. Again, I don't know what the business revenue is going to bring in. I don't know what my job revenue is going to bring. I don't have a job right now, you know. Lyft will be there and be a thing, but, you know, I'm hoping it's not my prominent and primary source of income throughout the year. So, you know, like I say, 2024 was a pretty solid year, and I think that it ended the way it did. I found out, like I said, about the business around, I think it was like May, maybe like the middle or end of May, and I had been saying I was going to, you know, finish up all these trainings and do stuff, but just not like the end of focus as I should have been. Nothing to do with work. Work was not an issue. I just didn't prioritize it, and I wish I had, of course, because had I done what I said, I think originally when I first, you know, started talking about it in May, I said I'd be done with the trainings in July. The goal was to have like at least like Fiverr account or something like that. One of the side gig accounts where you can, you know, get people to outsource you or whatever and reach out for small jobs. The goal was to have that going by, I think, September. Didn't do it, didn't complete the training. So again, just distracted. Definitely, you know, the mood factored in or whatever, and I just wasn't in a good space with my, living situation at the time, but I'm in a much better space and I don't have a job. So there's no excuse to not obtain these goals. Yeah, we're definitely going to be job hunting and, networking and communicating, but especially in the meantime, while we don't have a job, why not go hard? Because again, I was laid off. Not a performance thing, nothing on my end, nothing I could control. It's just, hey, we're doing a restructuring or reorganizing, as they call it, or whatever, and your name is on the chopping block. Sorry, good luck. So, that really kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, especially because I knew, like, I got laid off, like I said, maybe like December the 4th, 5th, something like that, that last Wednesday, or the first Wednesday of December, is when I got laid off. And by the time we got to, if not that Friday, which would have been the 8th, then that Monday, like the 11th, I think it was, I would have been done with my work that I still had until December the 31st to complete. So even slow poking, I was 20 days ahead of where I needed to be. So it wasn't a performance thing, and even we got audited. Even after the audit, I didn't do bad on my audit. Like, my accounts were coming back just fine. So, that really, like, if there were other jobs I've had in the past that I said throughout the time, like, if these people fire me, I can't get mad because I wasn't a good employee. You know what I mean? Like, not reaching deadlines, needing extensions, not being where I was supposed to be when I was supposed to be there, and just really taking advantage of, like, a lot of the jobs I had left a lot of time for a person to, like, self-manage, manage your own time and things like that. And I took full advantage of it, and didn't, attain or achieve the goals. Now, crazy, I've never been fired. Technically, yeah, I got fired one time, but I don't even care. My first job, doing a newspaper or whatever. Now, I was a teenager. So I'm going to school 7 to 2 o'clock. No excuses. I'm just saying what my dad be like. Going to school 7 to 2 o'clock. After school, either got basketball practice or just going out and about playing basketball, hanging out with friends and stuff. And by nature, I've been a night owl most of my life or whatever. So I'm up super late, or I might get literally like 2-3 hours of sleep. Try to go to sleep at 12. I got to be there or 11 something. I got to be there at like 2:30, 2 o'clock to pick up the paper. When I finish with the paper, 90% of the time I need to go straight to school. So I'm just not getting sleep, getting to places late or whatever. I might have to pull over some nights and take a nap. Then you had, the people to get up at 5 in the morning wanting to drink their coffee and read the paper. This boy ain't delivered my paper yet, and they got enough of them. And I came in one day, like, yeah, man, I got a car got stolen, car got broke, wrecked the car. Like, the transportation factored in too, but it was more so me just not, holding myself accountable to the standard that I do now. Of course, I'm twice the age I was. I think I was, 16, 17, maybe throwing a newspaper. I'm 36 now, so I'm almost 20 years older. And I know now that my name, Emmanuel Demetri Townsend, is a brand. And I hold it in that regard. Now, like, it doesn't matter, even if I am an employee, my name is still a brand. I'm an employee for this company, but my name is a brand because someone, upper management, HR, whatever, coworker could know someone that's like, hey, that another person that they know in the same industry, different industry, whatever, is like, I'm looking for somebody. This is a great opportunity. It pays more, whatever, and it may fit my skills. But if I've shown bad work ethic, bad attendance, not reliable, I don't communicate well, then why would that person recommend me to the other person unless they were trying to get me out of the company that we're in? But if it's someone that they genuinely like and it's like, this is a great opportunity, it's not, for that person that they're telling, but they're like, if you know anybody, let me know. And it's like, man, this dude Emmanuel, he a rock star. Since I've changed my brand to that, even with the job the last job I had for a year and a half that I did have, that came off of the back of 2 different temporary contract opportunities that I excelled at. The first one being, I was a repapering specialist. Did it, supposed to be a 6-month contract, started January the 18th. The first week of April, the man was like, hey, I got good news and bad news. Good news, you did a great job. The bad news is you did too great and you finished a 6-month contract that fast. I'd never been on top of work like that before, but when I'm locked in and like I say, it didn't matter what the work was at that point, this is my brand. So he was like, but because of my brand and what I've shown, I talked to another manager about you, so he wants to speak to you and see if he can get you on his team. whole different team, zero experience doing what they're doing, just with the brand, how the man sold me, and even getting that opportunity I got because of a previous contract I did, and I excelled at that. I was one of the top 3 performers on like a 12-person team or whatever. Now, I remember one lady was named Monique. The other lady name started with a Z. They was always on top of it. I would still have my days where I was spaced out, not being 100% locked in, whatever the case was. But even with that, it was them two because Monique was always on it. She was number one. If it was somebody who was going to be permanent, that lady deserved it. I would have liked it, but it was hers. And the lady whose name started with a Z, same. 1 and 2. I say Monique was always first, but Z was right there behind her. And then I'm not as consistent and always on time and on topic and whatever as they are, but just the work fit my data entry, numbers, math, money. Those are my strengths. So it was data entry. I'm not the fastest typer in the world, but I type kind of quick. If I'm locked in, I'm gonna compete with the best of them. So I was that 3rd person. They extended the contract, and I went to do something else. And when the something else didn't work out, then I reached back out to the recruiter that got me the job. And she was like, "Yeah, I can get you back on that team." Leap of faith. Again, I've been taking more and more leaps of faith and fighting that imposter syndrome that, plagues me daily or whatever. And that was one of the times I did it, and it worked out well. I was like, I'm kind of wanting to get going in this compliance fraud space. If we can get that going, that'd be great. So told her that, and she was like, "Okay, let me see. I know a manager. He wants somebody with experience, but I'll see if I can sell you." She felt comfortable doing that based on what I, shown on the first contract. Talked to him, got in there. That was the 2.5 months that not even 2.5 months, 2 months almost that I worked on that contract. And he was like, "Yeah, you killed it, dude." So now I'm gonna tell another manager about you. Talk to the other manager, get in there, do a great job with that or whatever, and excel. And they extended me twice. They brought on 2 more temporary people that were supposed to be under me, but they didn't excel like I did. So even though they started after me, their contract or their time working there ended before mine did. I worked from January, or on that contract from April all the way up until November the 30th, of the last day of November. And I didn't know it then, but like as far as they're getting budgets together, and it's just a bad time. It's kind of like a hiring freeze, which is like why right now I'm not about doing these applications, because I know a lot of them aren't hiring really too close to the end of the month. So I still do some, but like I'm not locked in right now, which is fine, because like I said, my bigger focus right now is my business and finishing the training and getting it up and going. As we get closer, and that's an incentive for me to finish up the training, because especially like I said, about 2 weeks out, the budgets will be there and they'll know and have spaces to hire like that come February. So I get locked in, and boom, and I'm doing applications regularly and things like that come in two or 3 weeks, so to speak, or whatever. Then I'm more likely to get in there with one of those positions. So yeah, but like I was saying, that my brand and me being more focused is shown. Like, no, you need to take every job you have serious, because you never know where the next opportunity is going to come from. So did that, worked that contract all the way out throughout 2022, and then 23 came, got another contract, going into the office, really inconvenient with having kids and getting people out to school, from school. Appreciative of the support that I had when I had it. Don't have it anymore, don't need it anymore. Again, everything's kind of lining up. So I did that, and LPO had reached out because they had got their budget and had a position open doing what I was doing on the last contract. So like I said, they had reached out and it was like, "Hey, the manager told the recruiter that had got me the job, find this Emmanuel guy. If he needs a job, see if he wants this, because the same thing he was doing all last year is what this job is. So he could come in day one and be effective, and we need it." So I come in, I hit the ground running. Well, I still was on the other contract, so I was going to the office. Operations, something I've never did before. Excelled at that. Like, out of all the 4 people that I came in with, one guy didn't make it. First guy didn't make it. No, it's 3 of us. 3 of us came in together. The first guy didn't make it. Miss Lisa, that was her name, Miss Lisa. She struggled a little bit or whatever. Just one, the management style didn't fit, and it would get her flustered. I'm not going to get flustered. Like, if you're going to let me go, I'm going to go lift and I'll work it out. I'll pay my bills. We'll be fine. I'll figure it out. And it just wasn't that. I boop on top of it. Made mistakes here and there, but I made the least mistakes out of all the new people or whatever. Now, it was a lot to learn. That was the first job I've had in this. Was like, this kind of overwhelming, because they're throwing so much at you. Like, you're learning a lot. You're learning a lot. Okay, we got you doing 5 different things. You learn 5 different steps or 5 different operations. Now we're going to show you 7, 8, 9 in 2 or 3 different systems. And it's like, y'all don't pay enough for this. Like, I was getting paid more doing less. this ain't it. So did that and started the interview process with LPL for the job that I just lost. And took a little minute, and I felt it like, I'm not gonna be here long. So they came back after Miss Lisa put in her 2 weeks notice. That next week, LPL called me. I was at work that day. They called. I stepped outside real quick, and they're like, hey, this is such and such from LPL. HR was calling to extend your verbal offer letter to let you know we're hiring you at this rate. More money than I even was going to try to negotiate up to, like $5,000 extra dollars. I'm like, I'm rich. Not really, but I was really excited about the salary and just, man, I finally got my footing in a job or, starting a career, and it's not contingent upon me passing the test, because that was something that I was adamant. Like, I'm not doing them FINRA exams. If that's a requirement, y'all can keep it. I hate this job, but I'll stay here till something else comes along. So, like I said, I got that based off of what I done there. So when I put in my 2 weeks notice, they counter like, hey, we can match the money. I'm like, matching the money's fine. This coming into the office ain't it. So what about that? And my manager's manager, whatever, like that was something that was big on that being in the office thing. So he was like, yeah, after a year, 365 days, 12 months, we could look at a hybrid thing, maybe doing two. My boy, you can stop right there. You ain't got to say another word. 2 days, hybrid, and I go home today, or the first day with them, and I'm at home, I got cheering. You ain't got none? I got cheering. I got things I've been needing to do. Don't worry about it. So, again, though, I had showed the brand of Emmanuel Townsend that I'm worth countering the money, at minimum. Try to keep me here if you can. So, that's become very important to me. If I've built my brand up with it not being my business to make other people money just so they can throw me some crumbs and still have the freedom to, hey, you were doing great, but we're letting you go, why wouldn't I pour in 1,000,000 times as much into the actual brand of Emmanuel Townsend to get an unlimited amount of, not unlimited, but significantly more than I've ever made and what I would make in less time than it would take me to make it. I have to climb this corporate. I don't got to climb no ladder. When I start, I'm head honcho. I'm CEO, owner, operator, whatever you want to call it. It's me. And as that grows, my revenue and income grows. And, I got a big heart, man. I can help other people. So, ain't nobody finna mess my business up. You can't help everybody because you ain't finna mess up the brand of it. This is still a brand. This is still my business. And I can't mess it up giving the wrong people opportunities. But as it grows, as I get there, I can help people that, hey, look, if you're going to take this serious and you're going to come over here and work, I promise I'll pay you fairly as I can. I'll let you know. I won't be as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I grew up in the trenches in Boulevard Homes eating free lunch, sharing a room with my brother. So even the lifestyle I got now without having a job, like, you know what I'm saying? This is a major come up. People look at me, oh, you got money. Have these motherfuckers on. I ain't got no job. I don't have a job, bro. I'm like figuring this out day by day. But again, the bigger focus is, and I don't like to speak that into the universe. I say I don't know what the first year is going to be like. It could exceed what I made the first year once I kick this thing off. Clients might be coming left and right or whatever. That would be dope and great and ideal. And I still will fight imposter syndrome a little bit because I am used to an employee mindset. I know every 2 weeks what's coming. I know when you're a business owner, you're on your own, you eat what you kill. You eat what you hunt, so to speak. You know what I mean? And with that not being in my control, even if I am advertising, whatever, 2 or 3 businesses can go under, because they'll typically be small businesses. I would love to get some bigger ones and, more permanent stays, people that have like staying power and we've been doing this business for a while and we're going to be here for a while. That would be great. And it may happen. But it's all up in the air. No matter how well I sell myself, they may have somebody. My pops, he's been doing this business 20-something years. My dad is not going to take me home as a bookkeeper because the lady that does his books does everything a whole year review, which should be like $3,000 for he said $300. I'm gonna charge you $300 a month, so it's gonna be $3,000 with your son. Even if I give you a discount, $2,500 at least. So I can't be mad at him for wanting to save that $2,300 a year. Like, that's just smart and simple math. You know what I mean? So like I said, I can't control what comes my way, but just to know that I do the work, I sell myself, I get a majority of those profits. And as that business, you know what I mean? Like, you could be doing great work for a company and they'll throw you crumbs. $1,000 bonus, 1 to 3%, typically 1 to 3%. As you get up there a little bit more, maybe 6, 8, maybe 10%, increase on your salary. But you help boost profits or the amount of money that you brought in was way more than that 10,000 or 10% or whatever. Like, nah, this business jump and quake and, you know, grow exponentially. The pay that I'm getting, it ain't growing marginal, it's growing exponentially too. You know what I mean? So just excited, man. And I always say people get the misconception that I just love money, money, money. No, I grew up financially insecure. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom had food stamps. You know, we stayed in Section 8 housing authority or whatever, so rent was next to that. And I remember 3-bedroom apartment or whatever. It went to $500. I'm not paying that for this, and got up out of there. You know what I mean? Man, I paid $500, less than $500 for my first apartment. And even then, she was paying $500 for a 3-bedroom. You know, wasn't the biggest in the world, maybe like 900 square feet or something like that. It wasn't huge, but it was 3-bedroom. The only apartments I ever had that was under $500 was my first apartment was $415, a 1-bedroom in Fayetteville, and my second apartment in Charlotte. And I got that at a discount. And I think it still was supposed to be over $500, but my pops knew the landlord or whatever. Mr. Collins showed some love, so I got that for still like $450, I think, something like that. So, like, that was and it was a 2-bedroom hut, real small. Appreciative, longest apartment I ever had. It was home, baby. But man, like I say, you know, just being where I am now and knowing the potential and the trajectory that I can go on to come up, it ain't about the money, it's about the security. You know what I mean? Like, I just got situated in straight today because I got my bonus. You know, they paid my bonus out or whatever, because I would have been getting it in March, but that's great today. I'm like, that was a question for me. When I get it, then do I get my bonus when? Because y'all gonna pay me in March. I ain't in y'all, you know, payrolling system no more. So how that work? They're like, nah, they come with your severance. So I got one of my checks. I'll get one more in 2 weeks, and then I got that severance. Just seeing that money in there, okay, I can pay my rent. I can pay some bills, and that gives me a cushion. And if I keep boop 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 and running up, I won't get behind. I don't have to worry about getting behind because I have that cushion. And if I do something does go wrong, knock on wood, then I got that over there. But this should hold me between now and February and March, you know, where I get a job that I would like. If not, we get to February-ish and that ain't looking promising and Lyft ain't doing what I needed to do, I might have to go in somebody's warehouse. I'm going to make sure me and these boys taken care of first and foremost. So, like I say, you know, that was it with 2024. Biggest thing, like I say, 2025, yeah, fitness or whatever. We may not have a 6-pack, but like I say, drop some pounds, be able to dunk one more time, record it, get up to the point where I could hit 315, grow my business, and just be happy, man. I've had my passport going on 9. This makes 9 years I ain't never got a stamp. I'm going to somebody island this year. After I get a job and get situated and get my money right, I am traveling this year. So that is a goal. Get a stamp. Definitely once I get my taxes or whatever, go ahead and put $500 to the side for a trip. Me and these kids going somewhere, beach, mountain, I don't care. We're taking a summer trip. I put that to the side off the rip or whatever. And other than that, man, just enjoy literally every day and try to be in a positive mind space. You know, not a fake one where like I'm telling myself I'm happy, but I know I'm no, like I am really okay and good. So that's the goal, man. Just to enjoy every day and try to make every day better than the last. You know, be 1% better than I was yesterday. So again, fitness goals: get under 200 pounds, dunk 315, going to the gym 2 days a week, biking at least 4, going for a walk 2 to 3 days a week, increase water intake, control my sugar intake because I like sweets, control my fried food intake, I like fries, and eat better, balance, like I said, mentally, emotionally, take care of myself as it warm up, go on more hikes or whatever, catch more mountains. I will hit 10 mountains I haven't hit this year. 10 mountains, mainly, you know, spring to fall during that time, which is like 5-6 months. So that's a nice little chunk before it get cold again. But hit a couple mountains, man, and just do more adventure stuff with these boys, man. We're gonna have a good year. We're gonna have a great year. And I know that, like I say, financially, the more I have to decide financial goals. Ideally, you know, I put up a little bit of money from this, my severance and all that, my bonus and stuff like that, put up some money from taxes. But once I'm back, I hit the ground running and working, you know, again, hopefully there's an increase and I make more than I made and, you know, Lyft stays consistent. We can do that, man. I'd love to have I'm not gonna be crazy. I say 10 to 15 grand. If I got 10 to 15 grand saved at the end of 2025, the year was a success in that regard, you know. So as long as I don't sabotage myself, which I don't plan on it. Now, the caveat to that is, now if I have 5 saved and I've put 10 to 15 into paying off my debts, I won't be mad at that either, especially if as we get towards the end of the year. Again, I'm not gonna trust it, but my business is more consistent, and you know, if I am working, then work is, you know, boop boop, balancing out what I'm putting in, and I know, okay, it's gonna come. But my bigger focus, like I said, overarching focus of this year is to get the certifications, finish the QuickBooks cert, grow in the fraud space. I can get certified, get the ACAMS or the CFE. I think I could get the ACAMS or the CFE. If I could get them without being sponsored or, you know, having the work experience, that'd be great. If not, I'll go for the ACFCS again. Again, my first focus right now is a QuickBooks certification. Get that this month in January. Then we'll figure out what's next. I mean, I can start looking, you know, now. I could look up and see what the requirements for the ACAMS and the CFE are next week. I mean, this week. I ain't gotta wait. I can do it this week. But I'm definitely planning on taking the boys paintballing either tomorrow or Friday. Take them paintballing. No, go buy their clothes and shoes. Like I said, I just got my service and stuff like that. I'm gonna go get these boys right, man. They deserve that. That's on me how long it took. So go get them right or whatever. And like I said, man, I'm just, when I, you know, going back to the layout thing, when I got laid off, I'm in such a different space. One, I have peace at home, which I hadn't had in a while. So having peace at home, just, I can take on a lot of stuff, man, but I need to at least be able to get to where and lay down and breathe and be okay in my space. You know what I mean? And so, like I say, car went down. It sucks. But I could keep my head clear and level, like, okay, hey, you got decent credit. You know, you still had a job at the time. We'll budget it. We'll work it out. So that was the plan. Of course, I don't have a job no more. Cool. We're still going to budget it. Boop, boop, boop. We got to get out here and make this much money. All right, we're going to make it shake. So, you know, stay level-headed. Hey, this is going to be your last day, da-da-da, whatever. Shocked. Blindsided. And I waited for emotion to come, which, you know, this is my second vlog, I guess you would call it, or whatever, video log. But the first one I did happened on the day I got laid off, and it was like, yo, I just got laid off. I'm 36 years old. Like, last time I got laid off was literally 8 years, or 9 years ago now, because it was 2016 from working with the kids on probation or whatever. And it was like, yo, I just lost my job. And I still had my part-time job at the time, which, I mean, with Lyft, I make Lyft, Uber, whatever. I make more doing this than I did doing my part-time job, but I also didn't have as much bills and responsibilities as I have now. It was me and Gabe 6 months out the year. You know what I mean? So that was a lot less to handle. Again, my rent was like $400, bro. That was nothing. I had the same bills I had from college. I didn't inflate my lifestyle. My lifestyle inflated. Now, outside of the house, which still was a necessity, like I said, it was me and Gabe. I have a second son. I got my bronze, because they my brothers. They was my brothers. Now they're my sons. Ty was my cousin too, so I just call them my bronze or whatever, because they're my brother's sons, legally. But, you know, so there's more people. We need more space. Like, I couldn't just do a little 2-bedroom. That, man, we had a 3 and it was tight in there. You see the difference. The house don't feel cluttered because we have so much more space. You know what I mean? So I'm like, again, man, they finished. We in January now, school ending in June. They halfway through it. Almost halfway through their second year of high school, which is the halfway mark. It's only 4 years. So, you know, again, I get this business growing, do what I need to do, get situated, and just make sure that we're, you know, stay afloat, and hopefully not even just stay afloat, thrive, you know, for these next 2 years while they're in high school. Man, we'll be okay. So I'm excited for the journey. I'm excited for the support. And I'm excited that I'm documenting these things versus, you know, I always wrote stuff down or whatever, but I wouldn't stay consistent with it. And it's cool to be able to look back too, but this hit different, man. Doing this right here hit different. I guess I like to hear myself talk, shit, whatever. So, you know, and being able to look back and just see the space I was in, how I felt, be able to hear the inflections in my voice, the passion about the things that's going on or whatever, the comfortableness and the peace when I'm talking about things that were uncomfortable. Like, I really wish, hindsight's 2020, but I wish I'd come across vlogging or really did it earlier, even if it's just for me. I done posted a video on YouTube. I don't know if I'll be posting more on YouTube or whatever. I didn't do it for the views. I don't know. Maybe I did. I don't know. Nobody's looked at it, and I don't blame them. That first one, just like this supposed to have been the boys stuff. I don't think nobody was over 5 minutes. I'm at 35 minutes, and I could keep yapping for hours. I just be talking or whatever. But I'm like looking at this, and hopefully, if these things still exist and I still have access, and if I'm alive 20, 30, 40 years from now, at some points, man, I don't know why that just made me emotional, but I guess, just the love for the boys, they're gonna be my age one day, and I try to get them and teach them everything I can. So some of the pitfalls and BS situations I done put myself in, they won't go through. And even if they do gotta go through it, then they can see like strong face, you know what I'm saying? Like, not trying to mislead them, but y'all children, but I don't want y'all to be worried about, like I say, I'm so gung-ho and crazy about money because we ain't have it growing up. We did it, And I'm glad that still got me a very humble person, but I still want better too. And I know that the better, not even material stuff, just for me, for some people it's like they want more money to have more stuff. I want more money to have more money over there. So when layoffs, when job loss, when injuries, when sickness occur, I can still pay these bills. I can still take care of us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I be concerned about. Knock on wood. If I have $50,000, $100,000 right now, and my unicorn Becky right here decided to act up, boom, I pay this off and go get something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the kind of comfort money gives you, versus when you don't have that kind of cushion and the car goes down, vehicle trim, whatever, like that stops some people's world. You know what I mean? So I don't want to be in that position, man, like where things that are minor inconveniences for some, and like I say, we're getting certain lump sums of money and stuff. Like, I have to be smarter with my lump sums of money. I have to be smarter. I have to control my vices and the things I blow money on. So, that's a big focus and something I'm working on, man. And, like I said, if they come across things later in life, at some point, baby, I'm not going to be here. So again, it could be tonight. It could be in the next 20, 30 seconds. I hope it's not, but it could be very soon. Again, hoping and wishing that it ain't no time soon and I can be here for them for a while. But even if it is 20, 30 years later, 40 years later, and I am still alive, to be able to go back down memory lane and I'm 40, 46, 56, 66, 76, and to be able to access a computer or whatever the case and see myself, 36-year-old me in this time, like, boy, look at you, man. Whatever, I might give myself hell about, so, boy, you had your hair braided. Knew he was cool too, talking junk to myself, or like, hey, look, I wasn't, I might be bald, might not be able to go ahead. Well, look, I had hair now, you know what I'm saying? As a grandpa type situation or whatever, or just like I say, talking about life, in 10 years, if I'm still living healthy and got the abilities I have right now today, the things that, like those financial words won't be there. That's on me. Those financial words won't be there, barring nothing drastic happen out of my control. You know what I mean? Like, even when my brother, not that he was doubting me, but he was like, I get what he was saying, it was protection, because I don't want you to be disappointed. I won't be disappointed. I can't be, because this can't fail. Again, I can feel it. I can succeed as an employee, and the company fails, so I fail, and I'm let go. This business not failing because I won't quit. You don't lose until you quit. And I ain't no quitter. So, with the exception of a better opportunity and better fitting business coming along, you know what I mean? It's like, this more money, a better fit for me. Outside of something like that coming along, drama-free bookkeeping gonna be a thing until I say it ain't. And that ain't finna be no time soon, and especially before I taste some success with it. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, now let's stop up here, scratch off lottery ticket, and $3 million up. I'ma stay unemployed for a while. And they say, me, man, I buy a house, pay out my debt, put up some money for these kids, and invest. Like, I'd be smart with it. I promise I would. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm just excited for the year, and I get the yapping, so 37-year-old Emmanuel Dimitri Crib Townsend. When we looking back, either December 31st or January 1st, 2025 or 2026, whichever. You know what I'm saying. December 31st, 2025, January 1st, 2026. Whatever time we go back and check this or whatever and review and get ready to record the next one, man. You gonna look back and just smile. And your ass emotional. You're emotional something, boy, but hey, man, I ain't feel like I didn't know it was okay to cry as a teenager and as a boy. So it's like, man, I make up for lost times. I can get overcome with emotion a lot. And so to know the success that I'm going to have in life and that I'm going to share and sprinkle on these boys and people that I influence and that I'm around or whatever, to be able to look back at the end of 2025, hey, man, we made it. It's Honda paid off, mess around and had an open line of credit paid. I might get Mr. Paul ass up out of there. You know what I'm saying? Debt free and look over there and, hey, this counseling kind of all right. We all right. You know, somehow we gonna make up for lost times because I'm 36 and I've only invested a year and a half. Again, appreciative of it because I needed it when I lost my job. You know what I'm saying? But then I should have had at least 50 to 100,000 put up in retirement. And if I did, life would have been different. You know, but you know, look, following some of the wrong guidance. I was following the David Ramsey plan, which not a bad plan, but don't invest it out. No, I wouldn't tell nobody don't invest. Forget that. You know, you'll double up on it, but they don't double up on the match. Forget that, dog. Man, put that little 2-3% over there and grind. I say put whatever you can, put the match over there and grind to get it on the back end. That's like for me, once I'm situated and I am working somewhere else or whatever, I'm gonna put that match in. And either this business, lift, something gonna make whatever I'm putting in to get that match. I'm gonna put it somewhere else. I'll get that on the back end, I promise. So, you know, that was bad advice or whatever that ultimately hurt me, like really set me back, man. So, but I'm gonna work out a way to catch up on all that. And in 10 years, I'm gonna be realistic. If I'll have at 46, at least 250 put up. I had 250 put up in the next 10 years. I ain't for 2 or 3 mil, but I feel I can control 250 if I'm working over the next 10 years with a match, putting in up to the match, then get to the point where I'm maxing out IRAs and investing in, you know, the like money markets or whatever, or the S&P 500. Just boom, boom, putting that over there. Then, you know, have, let's say like 50 just in my savings. No, not 50. 50 is kind of extreme to not be doing no work. Like 10, 20. 10, 20 in my like savings where I could just transfer this right now today and move it if an emergency come up. You know what I mean? So that's my 2024, 2025 wrap up. I see I'm long with it, man. I'm gonna be talking y'all head off or talking my head off. So your ass gonna grab you some wine and sit down and get comfortable, cause you be making little mini episodes or whatever, just documenting, man. And again, if I would have known that, you know, I like talking this dang on much when I was younger, I'd have been doing this shit in college. But better late than never, my brother. I love you. 2026 gonna be even better when you go back to look at this. I'm speaking it, you know, we control what we can control. I can't control other cars. I can't control, you know, sickness and stuff like that. But I'm still speaking it, bro. When you look back, you gonna be done made me proud. The January 1st, you gonna be done made us proud and look back and be like, man, 2025 was a motherfucking ride, dog, and we did it. And you made it a hell of a year. And 2026 finna be even better. I love you, my boy. I'll talk to you later. Enjoy the ride.